Number 4, crafting of economic programs which advance the socio-economic conditions of our people. 5, consensus to have vigilance over fake news and social media. 6, committed to self-introspection, renewal of values of trust, accountability, openness and honesty. And this should be the mainstay of our party's resolve. 7, that the economic sanctions and embargoes are one of the biggest albatross of the people of Zimbabwe and the economy, and should unconditionally be removed. 8, the aspirations of our people should be at the center of our priorities as liberation movements. 9, we agreed to engage in programs to empower youths and women in our countries. 10, the two parties agreed to convene and meet regularly to discuss issues of mutual concern and interest, particularly economic issues. Number 11, we agreed to cooperate on key issues of common interest, such as trade, migration, COVID-19, climate change, education, health, defense, among many issues of mutual concern. Finally, I just want to say to this, to you, comrades, about this, that the meeting was held in an atmosphere which was cordial, with a frank and open discussion and mutual respect for each other's views. We've had a very, very fruitful, successful, and comradely meeting. That's the end of our communique.
Thank you very much, my leader, the Secretary General. I will now give over to Comrade Patrick Chinamas to conduct the second session of questions and engagement with the journalists.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm happy to see you here this afternoon in your such large numbers. But we've had a long day, and our guests would want to have a rest. So I will allow very few questions. And I confine one question to each journalist. Who will start? Over there.
Thank you, acting spokesperson. My name is Blessed Mutanga from Arkansas TV and Radio. The ANC, after having its meeting in South Africa, issued a statement that there is a crisis in Zimbabwe, in that we are coming in to talk to all members of stakeholders in Zimbabwe. Can it be alerted as to what changed that position that was released in a communique in South Africa by ANC and repeated by two different, by Minister of International Relations and also by the Secretary General of ANC?
I'll take more. Over here.
Thank you very much.
Identify yourself and the agency you represent.
Thank you very much. My name is Mula Polisani with Newsroom Africa. My question goes to the SG Esmakashule. We understand that do you still stand by the views after meeting the ZANU-PF counterparts to the effect that in Zimbabwe there is a crisis? Do you still believe there's a crisis, and what is the crisis nature that you found after engaging your counterparts in ZANU-PF?
Thank you. Any further questions? Ruben Baru, you want to ask a question? Yeah.
One thing I just wanted to find out is that are you liberation movements aware that if one goes, all of you are born? And did you by any chance discuss that places like Quito Canavale, places like Wange and Sipolilo, where you shared trenches, could be under threat? That legacy.
Thank you. Over here.
Cyrus Nagao Jazeera. Will the ANC delegation meet any other parties involved in Zimbabwe, or they won't meet ZANU-PF?
I think for now, if I could give the leadership an opportunity to respond to those questions.
Well, thanks very much to the media. As Secretary General Dr. Mpofu have said, we had very frank, open discussions, very robust. And as we have said, we committed ourselves to self-introspection and renewal of our values. And we have agreed that at the center of whatever we do as liberation movement should be our people, the people of Zimbabwe, the people of South Africa. Those people who are still marginalized, who are still poor, those people who are still jobless, no water, no shelter, because that's our work as liberation movement. And therefore we have agreed to that as the ANC. Because of time, we came here to engage. And yes, we have agreed that the ANC will come back and engage other stakeholders, or whoever you refer as any political party, so that we understand and comprehend the challenges. Maybe we use the word crisis, but I think we agree that there are challenges facing the entire globe, the continent, our respective countries, and therefore whenever there are challenges in Zimbabwe or South Africa, as liberation movement, such challenges must be confronted for as long as they affect our people. And that's why we are here, to say let's better consolidate and work selflessly for those poor people, marginalized, the people of Zimbabwe, the people of South Africa. Because we are one, we are Africans. I think that is the question you posed. I'm sure I've responded to those questions posed to me. So we have recommitted ourselves, as I said, to working together and working with our people. Thank you.
Perhaps, no, thank you, SG. I think it is necessary to highlight on some of the issues that we discussed. You know, this was a two-way discussion of comrades who were together in the trenches and are still together in addressing the challenges that we have as a region, or as two sister parties. I just wanted to point out that we discussed the issues of fugitives who seem to be responsible for some of the misinformation that is being peddled out there. And we also try to avoid to use the word crisis, because there is no crisis in Zimbabwe. That's why my colleague has referred to it as challenges. Not only in Zimbabwe, but in South Africa. discussions revolve around the challenges affecting the two countries and the two parties. Hence, the agreement that we meet on a regular basis to address those challenges. You see, we are talking about people's aspirations. But how do you measure people's aspirations? Other than through a democratic process, which in Zimbabwe has been given more than 2/3 majority. By the same people that people purport to be concerned about. So it was a no-holds-barred meeting between comrades, among friends. And look, I've attended several meetings in my career as a politician, also a government representative. This was the frankest, most candid engagement that I've experienced. Of course, I mean, this whole thing is historical. I mean, we talk about Panabad, Wange, battles, I mean, we are product of that. And our sharing of trenches in Zambia, Tuli, Wange, Polilo, that is what liberated this country. And as you may be aware, the first soldiers to fight guerrillas in this country were South African reservists who were deployed along the border in 1964. I come from there. So this bond of friendship will not be interfered by any force. We also agreed that there are detractors amongst us as well as outside our parties. I thought I should add that to what my colleague has said. Thank you.
Two more questions, and we close the. Yeah. Okay.
My name is Beruja Firenika from the Daily News.
Yes.
My question I direct to SG Marashule. You spoke about a very.
Can you speak up, please?
You spoke about a very frank discussion. There are concerns around issues of the human rights situation in the country, in Zimbabwe. I wanted to ask, did you by any chance discuss those issues and what were what was the percent of that discussion? If you did.
One more question, and we close questions. There are none. Sorry. Do I see any? Okay. Your hand is not firm.
Yeah. Maybe just the second part of the cherry.
No, you've had
Yes.
go.
No.
Over there.
My name is Kuda Sanino. My question is directed to SGS Mavashule. I just wanted to find out, given that you spoke about the issue of sanctions, are there any programs of action that the ANC is going to implement to support Zimbabwe in its drive to get the sanctions lifted, get the explosive sanctions?
Over to you.
There was a question.
Sorry? Yes, already asked. It's already asked.
Of course, I think that as the ANC, as SADC, we have, and as AU, we have actually said that for as long as we have sanctions, you're not creating a conducive environment for economic development, for us as ZANU-PF and the former liberation movement to create an integrated economy in our region. And therefore it is important for us to continue making a plea to the entire world and US for the sanctions they are implementing here. So we have forever, as the African National Congress, called for the lifting of sanctions against Zimbabwe. And I'm sure in terms of issues of human rights, we have said we are liberation movements. This is what we have fought for and what we are fighting against colonialism. And therefore, as liberation movement, we should by all means respect human rights. We are the first to say we respect freedom of association, freedom of speech, all the basic freedoms which are there universally. And we have recommitted ourselves to ensure that we give ourselves time to listen to the views of others. But whilst we are continuing to interact as former liberation movements, and as I said, that's why we'll engage other parties or stakeholders, and we'll come back to meet with them so that we encourage interaction, we encourage, because we can't dictate to Zimbabwe what to do, but we can engage because Zimbabwe is a sovereign country. It's an independent country like any other country. And therefore, as friends, as fraternal organizations, will engage to ensure that we have one understanding in terms of human rights. And I'm sure we have agreed. And that's why we say our discussions were very frank and open. And we will keep on interacting as we move forward. Because the economic discussion is very, very important. That's what we are actually going to carry forward. Because for as long as we don't have the economy in our hands, as the people of SADC and the people of Africa, I think we'll still continue having problems. Our minerals must not be exploited by those outside. We must ensure that all these minerals are minerals which belong to our people. So empowerment of young people, empowerment of women, empowerment of the marginalized Zimbabweans and South Africans will be key for us. So this was actually a wonderful meeting, and as we have said, we shouldn't allow social media to set the pace and agenda for us in terms of resolving the challenges we may be facing as countries.
Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of the press conference. I thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much.